Welcome to the Broken Port Podcast, everybody. Coming back at you, Mitch and Josh, for another week of tech news and other stuff that has come to our minds, unfortunately. We've got a great show lined up for you. We got a bunch of great topics. Josh is definitely getting a new Steam Deck. We got Amazon up to some shenanigans trying to compete with Wish and Temu and Shein and all these people. We've got Tesla with the Cybertrucks messing right up. And along with that, Xbox Phil is blowing things up again. People are going crazy about it. We're going to get into that all here on the Broken Port Podcast this week. Again, I'm Mitch, the guy who pretends to know what he's talking about.
And my name's Josh, and I chose the colors for this thing that we're doing.
And we're all very proud of you.
Hey, Mitchell.
What's
Mitchell,
going on?
Mitchell, how was your week? Ba-dum-bum, ba-doom.
Yeah, pretty good. Feeling a little bit better right now because we're filming this earlier than usual. I have a little bit more energy, I would say.
Yeah. It's hard after a long day's work to get the enthusiasm up, right? So
Yeah. That's why we need more subs. So right off the bat here, like, subscribe, share.
greedy.
Let's get us up to that 1 million subscriber mark real quick.
Well, we're gonna hit 1,000 soon, so let's just pace ourselves.
I just had a couple of zeros, whatever.
Yo, it's getting nippy in the morning.
It
Real
is
nippy.
chilly out there. We are up in the north of Canada, and my igloo is definitely freezing over a lot better than it was last week. So, that's good. Pretty soon we're going to have fish coming under the ice and all that great jazz. That's all we have here.
I'm freezing my egg balls off. Yeah, no, I don't have a car starter. And if I did, tangent one, super quick, my city decided to put in a little bylaw this active this winter. Unless it is only minus 30 or below, you are not allowed to idle your car in your driveway for more than a minute. AKA, if they see a car being idle in a driveway, they wait 1 minute. If you don't come to it and drive off, they write you a ticket. You can't make this up.
Well, I guess I'm not moving there anymore. I use mine now already.
I think that's going to be one of these things that is kind of yeah.
I can't
It's
last.
like
I mean,
that.
you gotta when it's like really cold, you gotta idle your car just to warm it up. Otherwise, you're gonna hurt the engine.
Yeah. This it will not stand, and it's not going to be enforced because like
How can they enforce it?
everybody under the sun's going to have an issue with it. So how are you going to get elected next term? And B, it's dumb. So there's that. But that's it for the tangents. You wanted to show me something. I got a text from Mitchell the other day, and he's like, hey, Josh, do I have a story for you?
I do have a story for you.
It involves my white deck.
Comicbook.com. We got an article over here by, I don't know if it's Kate or Katie Onder. There is a new Steam Deck announced by Valve. All right. No, it's not the Steam Deck 2, which is what I was hoping for.
Close.
However, this will be Josh's second Steam Deck because, as you may remember from previous episodes, or if you're a first time, welcome. Josh is all about that white hardware.
Oh, look at this thing, man.
So Steam Deck is releasing a limited edition white Steam Deck.
The gray little buttons.
It's got gray buttons and thumbsticks. It's an all white body. This, I saw it. I'm like, Josh, no, he's not getting the Ally X. He's getting this now.
Mm.
And look at him. He's pondering it over.
Yeah.
And it's the OLED. So it's got better battery.
And a terabyte.
Yeah.
So all your problems are solved.
That's it. Batteries and terabytes. That's all you need, really.
I would co-load Windows on this if you have the extra. Maybe use one of the Tiny 11 or whatever that thing is called there, where it's like a shortened version of Windows. It just gets your launchers going. That's it.
Here's why for our viewers, this is why Josh should get the Steam Deck, because Josh will always say, oh, well, it's only Steam. I can't play like my Game Pass and other things on it. And then when I tell him to run a wire from his Xbox to his room, he'll say, "Oh, but I can't play Steam on it." Well, maybe you could just play your Xbox on your Xbox and your Steam on your Steam, and you have it all there anyway. You're gonna be just fine.
So when's this
So
coming out?
so this, you can purchase it through Steam November 18th at 3 PM, Pacific Standard Time. I forget how that lines up with our time zone, but you can watch out for that, and they're trying to do a similar thing to what PlayStation did, I guess, with, preventing scalpers. So
Bots, yeah.
you need to have a Steam Deck that has been active, I think since essentially, like, before this was announced, you have to have had your Steam account active in good standing.
Mm,
So, now that this is announced, people can't just go on and make a bunch of accounts and, get these. However, I feel like this kind of thing is gonna be short-lived because if companies start to do this, like PlayStation and Steam, I feel like people are just gonna start making, like, these phony accounts now for future releases
yeah,
and try that. Although that's not as easy as making, like, a bot just on its own because you're
yeah.
gonna have to get probably playtime, and they'll probably keep refining it anyway, but anyway, it's a good step in the right direction.
This is sexy, man. Now, before we move on to our next subject, you said good standing, account in good standing. Does that mean, what do you think that means? Is that the perpetual refunders that like nuke the game in an hour and be like, all right, I played that game for free now, refund me? Or is this the cheaters? Like, is this a way of getting back to people that have abused loopholes, maybe?
I don't know, like, I feel like I'd have to do some research into what is considered a Steam account in good standing because it's when I think of an account not in good standing, that's like, you owe money or something, right?
Mm,
Which you can't owe money to Steam. It's like you
no,
either buy the game or you
you
don't.
don't.
So it's not like you're missing your payments to Steam. That's not the way it works.
Ah, I'm in
So
overdraft again. Damn it, Steam. I said, come on out on the 12th.
yeah, so
Now I
I
can't buy gas from a plane.
if anybody knows what a Steam account not in good standing is, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, that is sexy, man. I will have to give that some serious thought.
Yeah, I know. Josh gonna rethink all his values, and next month he's gonna be like, "Hey, so
What
I
values
ordered a
we talking
Steam
about?
Deck." Your values of Steam versus Xbox versus Asus,
Mitch,
maybe the Legion.
you think you can get a Steam Deck off of Wish.com or maybe Temu?
I mean, you can definitely try.
Hmm.
You can definitely try.
What about Hall? Oh, wait, you can't because it's only under $20. But what am I talking about, Mitch?
What if you got a Steam Deck for under $20? Probably wouldn't work, but I mean, hey, if they post it. Uh, Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon is competing with Shein and Temu and Wish and all of these places with all the slow ship, counterfeit, and other such things, low quality, hit or miss, hidden gem situations.
Shein?
I don't know, everyone says it different.
I've
It's
heard no less than like 10 different pronunciations. The
yeah,
one my wife, she does it for clothes and she likes them.
yeah.
And it's Sheen, not Shein.
So I always said Sheen, and my
Yeah.
wife always said Sheen, and then all these people are saying Shein. I've heard some people call it Shine. So I don't care what it's
How do you
called.
pronounce it in the comments section? Let us know.
Yeah. Give us some like capital letters on what you what you pronounce more significantly.
Spell it out phonetically.
Sheen, Shein, Shine, Shamalama, Ding Dong, I don't know.
But
Uh,
so what's this about?
so basically Amazon has created this section called Amazon Haul, and
Mm.
it's not HALL, it's HAUL, like U-Haul. And they made this so that it's like discount items, I guess, or just cheap items. So $20 and below. I guess a lot of stuff is like way under 20 bucks. So the couple kind of like catches or caveats or whatever buzzword. Everybody says caveat now. This is like, where did that come from? Everyone says caveat. But anyway,
The English language, I think.
but it's like
Invented.
it's like so popular. Like people
Yeah,
used to say other things instead of caveat, but that's like new.
Webster really made it famous.
Anyways, the caveats to being Josh's friend is his little quips and his digs. But anyway, if we carry on with Amazon, one of the catches, I'm gonna say catch, is that you have to wait a couple weeks to get your stuff. So it's
Mhm.
not like this
Coming
isn't
straight
gonna
from
work.
China, ain't it?
I well,
I think so.
I
That's
don't know. I don't know how
how everything
exactly the
gets so
program
cheap.
works,
I
but I'm
I
sure
I did
they're
a video on it. I sorry, did a video. I watched a video of it, and, yeah, it's I watched a video on it, and it's to compete with Temu and Wish.com and Shane, whatever, um, because they're coming directly from Chinese manufacturers. See, it says in the article, Hall Stock is also importing stock directly from Chinese manufacturers.
okay.
So yeah.
Yeah, so it's yeah, and then there's discounts depending on how much you spend and all that kind of stuff, like 50 bucks, 75 bucks and all that. There's different tiers of discounts and stuff you get. It says here, so this is on theverge.com. We'll link all our articles below. The shipping cost is $3.99 and is free on orders over 25 bucks. But yeah,
Mm,
it'll take 1 to 2 weeks to arrive. This isn't going to work with Prime and that kind of thing. It's its
no.
own separate setup.
And it's only, app based. You can't access this via computer. You have to download the app. And what are the
Okay.
chances of that app having a whole bunch of ads to facilitate this?
Yeah, it's probably going to be like a average website today where you gotta like try to like push everything out of the way so you can find the article.
Like a
Oh,
man in a bush.
it's like every paragraph you got like 6 ads in between. It's like, wait, is it over? Oh no, it's just like
Hasn't even
it's all
started.
it started. That was just the title. Uh, and then also noted in this article, this is the article, by the way, is by Jess Weatherbed on The Verge. Notes in the end here that Timu and Sheen are facing stricter regulations in the EU and US due to risks
Mm,
surrounding counterfeit goods, illegal products, and copyright infringements on their platforms. So
right.
Amazon's trying to stay away from that situation,
Yeah,
which I feel like it's easier for them to do that. They have the buying power to just kind of like Walmart has buying power to get things cheap.
yeah.
So I feel like Amazon can kind of dictate that now too.
Hmm. Yeah, it's very interesting. So $20 or less, and I'm assuming this is American. This is going to be excellent for phone cases, sunglasses, wallets, ties. I'm a guy, so I'm thinking of that stuff. But women, you got your underwears, you got your swimsuits, you got your bags, you got your jewelry. A lot of women love to have, they call it what, costume jewelry or party jewelry. It's not real and it looks fancy, and then you throw it away or whatnot. This is an alternative to 3D printing because most of this stuff you could probably just print in your garage.
Yeah, yeah, it's true, eh? So interesting to see these different kind of markets that are emerging. I'm curious to see if the stuff's actually good.
Mm.
That'll because I don't buy a lot of stuff off of these places because I just can't be bothered with taking the chance, and it's like I'm just gonna buy the thing I want and that's it.
You wanted to buy like 16 terabytes of like 500 gig SD cards back in the pandemic. He's like, "Come and do this with me, man." I was like, "I don't know. I don't want to give them my information. It's gonna be weird, and you're gonna end up on a human trafficking site or what have you."
You can end up on a huge traffic site.
But you know who's not in a human trafficking site? Maybe because they're stuck in a garage on a recall is a Tesla.
Yeah, they might just be stuck in traffic,
Yeah,
regular traffic,
Tesla
but
have an
they're
interest.
causing it because they can't drive.
You've seen these things around, these Cybertrucks.
I've seen a few, just like I hadn't seen one on the road up until like 3 weeks ago,
Mm.
and I've seen one like at least once a week now. I saw one today while I was
Mm.
going through the drive-through, and one drove by. And I gotta say, I love tech. I love modern things. This thing looks so out of place and awkward. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah.
and the regular Teslas kind of looked like that when they came out too, but this is like another level. Like, this is full on iRobot. Like, this car shouldn't be on wheels. It should be only around if it's hovering.
Yeah.
That's how this car looks. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like a movie prop, and just maybe I change my tune if I actually go and test drive one or something at some point. But like, I don't know.
It's definitely a intended audience that is very narrow, i.e., rich people that want to look rich.
Well,
Yeah,
and they're like base price of around
80 grand.
80,000 US.
Yeah.
So like they're, the average price of like any sort of like, well, like other Teslas or like, kind of like the Beamer, Mercedes SUVs, that kind of stuff. They're that kind of market. And yeah, I don't know. But the point of this article is that they've been around for not very long. I think finally actually on the road, even though they were talked about for years. They're releasing the sixth recall already for the Cybertruck.
Wow. 6 already.
Six recalls, and it says they're recalling just under 2,500 of
Mhm.
these to replace defective drive inverters, which basically is the thing that sends power to the electric motors.
Somewhat important.
Somewhat important. And see, the thing with this is this, by the way, is from Laura Kolodny on CNBC.com. Tesla initiates six Cybertruck recall in a year is the name of the article. And the way that Tesla says this, a quote of the quote is, if the inverter stops producing torque, the driver loses the ability to apply torque to the vehicle. No way. Using the accelerator pedal, resulting in a loss of propulsion. I didn't see that coming, which may increase the risk of a collision. Oh, so car doesn't go. It means the car doesn't go. Well, something with the electric vehicles that, maybe they could have talked about better in this quote that says, car don't go, car stop, is that when you release the pedal on like a Tesla or an electric motor, you don't need the brakes. It will come to a stop.
Yeah.
It's not like a neutral car. If like, if a gas vehicle loses power, it will continue to roll at that speed and will slowly come to a stop after it loses momentum.
Mm,
But with electric motors, once they stop losing or once they stop getting that power, they slow down to a stop very quickly.
mm. Yeah.
So it is more of a problem that this loses the power than like a gas vehicle. And again, it's another kind of problem with electric vehicles, even though yeah, you can save on your brakes, but with something like this, yeah, it does create more of a hazard on the road.
Yeah. It's interesting. The Cybertruck has become the third best selling fully electric vehicle in the US during the third quarter of 2024.
It's because it looks like a movie prop.
Yeah.
Everybody wants to drive a movie prop. Be like, hey, look what I got.
It is a bold design. I'll give him that. And when the Teslas first came out, like I like that Model 3 and I like that Model Y a little less. I think I'm more of a 3 guy. But I don't know, man. I just I live in Canada and the batteries will just die. Over 3 years, you'll car won't even be paid off and it won't work.
Yeah.
We're just not there yet. And to all our subscribers, we're not there yet on our final goal. And I don't know what that final goal is, but many, many more likes and subscribes do us just great.
We are almost at 900 right
Mm,
now. What's the count? 881.
mm.
So, if we could get to 900 by the end of this week, that'd be awesome. Heck, if we could boost up to 1,000 by the end of this week, that would be fantastic. Thank you to everybody who's been watching, subscribing, share it around with your friends some more. Hit those likes, leave us a comment, say what you like, what you didn't like, and you know, let's make some stuff happen.
Yeah, let's have a party here. Let's do
Oh
this.
yeah, break a port.
And we're always looking for suggestions. So if you have a suggestion for a show topic, let us know.
Yeah,
All right. A show topic that we're going to do right now is the bulk of what we wanted to talk about today, and that is Xbox doing things hand wise.
Xbox doing a lot of things apparently. So there's an interview with Phil Spencer been honestly a lot of coverage about this already, so I don't need to get too much into the details. But basically, uh, there's an interview. Phil talked about looking for more acquisitions, looking to buy more studios. People are upset about that because, oh, you bought Activision, you bought all these other studios, you did shutdowns, you bought studios, laid people off, and now you're looking to buy more studios, probably lay more people off, and so on. Unfortunately, that is just one of the ways that growing businesses and these big corporate empires go.
Yeah,
Uh,
buy assets to your company, trim the fat. So you can buy more assets to your company, evolve, trim the fat, cycle go around.
yeah,
That's business.
it's just the way that big companies continue to grow
And
and
I
so
hope
on.
some of these employees that did get laid off, they eventually find their feet. Maybe they make new gaming studios. Maybe they get in a position somewhere in Sony or Nintendo or what have you.
Yeah,
But this is how business is done.
yeah. Unfortunately enough,
A tough,
and
callous take, but it is what it is.
yeah, and most of the time, I mean, look, I'm not going to speak for everybody, and if somebody got some sort of bad deal or whatever, I hope that they get what they deserve. But the majority of the time, if it's a big company like this that lays you off, you're going to get a severance package that's usually pretty fair.
You
So
rarely hear, I hope they get what they deserve in a positive way. It's usually always negative. I hope you get what you deserve.
you heard it here on the Broken Port podcast. We're changing up averages all the time,
Sayings and words that have always existed, but
bringing it back to the good times, the good ways. I hope he gets what he deserves. Just such a hardworking guy, you know.
any caveats with this, Mitch?
There are always caveats with everything. Now, one of the things that's not a caveat is they're talking about their handheld,
Mm.
kind of.
There's been a
So
lot of talk about that lately.
there's been a lot of talk about that, kind of Xbox mentioning it, and then a lot of other people talking about it, saying essentially this looks like something that could happen in a couple years.
Okay. Take their
I'm
time
curious to
with it.
see how many years that is because people have talked about the new Xbox coming out 2026, which I'm all for. I think Xbox shouldn't release alongside PlayStation. Like it's not like they're friends that have to do things together.
Yeah.
Like these are businesses. Like when Xbox released the 360 before the PS3, everyone was buying a 360 because hey, that's the new console. That's the new console. And
Yeah.
then they bought PS3s later. That's what I did. And I'm happy I did because I got to experience Xbox and the good controllers and all those things. So it was a good call. So I think if they separate themselves more from PlayStation, and kind of just do their thing, then I see that as a good thing. So who knows when this handheld might come out, if it would release alongside the new console or maybe after the new console. Who knows? Uh,
You know what I could see them doing? Like, you know how they had the Series X and then the Series S? One's powerful, one's just just a solid machine, but it's not going to win any awards or anything. And developers hate developing for it because you got to take so many things into account when porting over a game. What if they made just their base console and then the S morphed in to a less powerful version of that console, but handheld?
the Xbox Series hand.
There you go. I went with X hand. Marketing's hard.
Yeah, sometimes. But I think that's probably the play. I
Yeah.
don't see them having like the X, the S, like next next generation to have like the the top console, then the lower console, and then the handheld. It'll probably be like whatever the next box is and the handheld to go with it,
And
which makes a lot of sense.
a huge selling feature of this is maybe they approach it where like this is a Series Z. Well, I'll just call it Series Z and Series H for hand. Okay, just for argument's sake, this is a Series Z game. It is not being ported over to the Series H, but we have game streaming. But we have Game Pass. Oh, you hear the new this coming out? New NHL coming out? Not only is it on the Series Z, but they made a port for the Series H. Let's go. I could see like there being some exclusives, but with some workarounds with like game streaming or, you know,
Yeah, that would be good, and I think that that's if anything, I think the S is a good. like console for the price. But I think they did make the mistake of saying, yeah, everything has to work on both the same way. That's not really reasonable. It's like, okay, if one's going to be lower tier, then it has to have some sort of sacrifice,
Yeah.
right? And that would, I think that would also help them sell more of the X's, because it's like, okay, you get everything with the top console, and then you get most of what you want with the lower tier, but you
Mm.
save money. So it's what you want to do, right? What you want to pay for. It's like like buying a car with a bigger engine, you know, that kind of thing. So yeah, and then one other thing on Xbox is they started this new marketing campaign. I don't know if you saw, where basically like everything's an Xbox.
Yeah.
It's like, this is an Xbox, your phone, or this is an Xbox, your TV, and that kind of thing. So, carrying on with their shenanigans of getting on every screen.
Yeah, like the Fire Stick stuff is just crazy. Like I wouldn't do any Twitch shooters or anything competitive online play. I think Xbox already had a video this week about that.
Yeah.
Um, but for like top down platformers and stuff, single player stuff, yeah, why not? If that's all you got, if you're at a cottage and they have a Fire Stick, yeah, I'll type in my password.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like there's gonna be a sweet spot too of certain kinds of games that are less kind of graphically demanding and stuff, that works well for. Um, maybe just even little indie games, like it's just nice to have something on the go. You
Yeah.
get the most out of your Game Pass subscription, right? It's like, I can have it here, I can have it there, I can do it with this over here. So I think it's a decent little perk.
Let us know what you think of the Xbox Hand Pass or whatever have you. And
Flatter of the bird.
are you getting the X Hand or the Series Hand? Let us know.
Yeah,
And what will you be powering that display with?
big TV, an
Big
XXL TV,
TVs are getting out of hand.
huge.
I saw Linus, like he's got like a 112-inch or a 19-inch in his movie. What what would you say you even do here? Like, just use a projector, man.
Hello, I TV. I just TV
I like heavy
at all times.
rectangles. So
So,
go ahead.
all right, there's been a big like surge in demand for these huge TVs,
Mm,
like 98-inch TVs and stuff like that. This article from CNN.com is by Jordan Valinsky. Supergiant TVs are flying off store shelves. So this is interesting because I got a new TV 2 years ago,
mm,
75-inch, which is kind of like the
definitely.
inconvenient price. I think it's what you got too, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's great TV.
Yep.
But like, I found the deals not really that great. I got a decent deal on mine, but it's always like whatever is the highest demand size always has the best deals, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think 65s became the best, like the highest selling size. So
It
they
always
were
goes up
less,
10 inches, eh? Like
yeah,
back in the day, it was like 55. Oh, I got a 55. And it came from 50. And then we go to 55. Then we skip 60 altogether. No, we're doing 65.
yeah,
And then I guess 70 was a thing for a hot minute, but then 75 was like the consumer level. Yeah, this is how people are gonna ball out.
yeah.
And I honestly cannot see myself going any larger than a 75. But you actually helped me buy this.
I like to be Josh's shopping assistant.
I hate doing research. I just want the best bang for my buck. So I'm just like, yo, Mitch, I'm thinking about this. Give me three options. Here's my
Yeah,
price.
it's pretty much how it went. Took me like, I don't know, it'd take like 2 hours or something. Maybe it was just an hour,
Thank you.
but it was time well spent.
I do
I,
know you enjoy it, so
oh yeah,
I don't feel like I'm taking advantage of you.
no, I like to find deals. Like to be like, hey, this is like a good thing. It just got marked down, and then this is over here. Oh yeah, no, I love putting that stuff together. So always a good time on my part. But there are these big TVs that are selling. I have to look at the prices of these,
Mm,
because I don't know if they're just the big TVs, but they're not that great quality. Because that seems to also be the thing with TVs now, is like,
mhm.
oh yeah, it's like a 75 inch or it's an 85 inch, but it's just
Refresh
like
rate of 2?
very yeah, it's not like an OLED, it's not a QLED, it's just a big old nothing. And when you get these big TVs and they're not like a crisp picture, they just
Yeah,
look like meh.
yeah,
Like so in the picture in this article it shows like a QLED 4K whatever, but even that the QADC that's like it's okay. Uh yeah, I don't know. 98-inch TV. I almost got an 85.
wow,
I'm and it was gonna be like it was gonna be too much more for like the same model. I think it
yeah.
was like $1,000 more to get the 10 inches bigger. And I think that the one I got was perfect size for the room actually, the 75.
Yeah, that's the thing, eh? Like, we're not all living in, mansions that have 1,000 square foot to their living room alone, like, you gotta
Yeah,
work with the space that you have.
yeah, because even now, like a lot of places, as much as we never thought it, like a lot of places can fit a 65 inch. Uh, some places, depending on your living room, can fit the 75. But I think like 85 and above, you really need like that full dedicated clear wall. And there's a lot fewer people that have that kind of space. Like,
Okay, you got that much glass on your wall, you better not have one window in that room, or else at different parts of the day, you're gonna have, like, different glares, and you can only watch it at night. It's yeah. So,
yeah. So,
I think we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. Maybe let's focus on the technology of the TV sizes we currently have.
and who
Maybe
knows, maybe it'll get to the point where it's like they really start to dial it in on projectors, because
mm,
then it's like people just they want that bigger screen, but they can't put the legit screen there, so maybe that's when projectors really start to take it up a notch
yeah,
and become, like, much crisper. I'd be happy to see that,
yeah.
that'd
Be fun
that'd
to
be
see
really
where this
great.
goes.
Yeah,
Where do you guys think it's going?
yeah. Do you have
Let's
a 98 inch? What you got? Let us know.
what you got?
What you got?
Do you have a 119 inch like Linus? Because
Yeah,
that's not compensating.
why not get 3?
Anyway, while you're letting us know about your TV sizes and various units of measurement, please let us know what you like about the show, and like and subscribe would mean a lot. All
Yeah.
right, Mitchell, I've heard you toss around this word like it's normal, and this is the man that I'm talking to has a problem with the word caveat. What is a sub mask? Subnet mask. I can't even say the damn thing.
So, subnet mask. So, probably over the next few weeks, we'll do a
This is some
couple little
hacker crap, ain't it?
uh, I mean, I
I'm taking
you
notes.
you could. So, uh, we'll touch on a few things probably over the next few weeks about subnets because it's a wide topic that can easily get confusing, even though it's not super confusing. It's just a lot of layers.
Mm,
So your subnet mask, you usually see that if you've ever seen your IP address listed,
mhm.
uh, you know, you might recognize the numbers like 192.168.2.1 or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's your IP address, and uh, your subnet mask uses that same kind of layout with the numbers and the dots in between. And your subnet mask basically lets you know what IP addresses you can use.
Okay.
So I'm not going to get into all the classes and all that right now, but there are 4 sections of your
Okay.
IP address. Okay, so you have your 192, then your 168, 2, and 1.
Okay.
Then with your subnet mask, you're going to see generally you're going to see 255.255.255.0.
Mm,
So what that, well, just kind of the first part of this is all the 255s, that's what's called your network portion. Okay? These sections are called octets, and we'll explain that a little bit more. It's because there's 8 bits.
okay.
So you have 255 in binary will be 8 bits. It's all ones.
Okay.
So each of those, and then you'll have your 0 at the end. So that 0 at the end means that that's what you can use to change. Those
Okay.
first 3 are all set. Your 0 at the end, that's your host portion.
Okay. So why would someone want to change? Like, what's the practical use here of this?
So basically your host portion at the end, that 0, you can change it, meaning those are your available IP addresses. So that will go up from 1.
Okay.
You'll be able to use 1 to 254.
And that
So
is for
from
like
those
protection?
are assignable to all the devices in your home.
Okay.
So generally your router will just assign it automatically. So
Yeah.
like your computer connects to your internet, to your Wi-Fi, it's going to get assigned an IP address out of that pool
Mm.
from 1 to 254.
Okay.
So it'll say the first three 192.168.2. Maybe 155.
Hmm.
And you can assign things personally if you want. If you go into your router, uh, then you can say, I want this one to always be set at 155 at the
Hmm.
end. Uh, that's useful for certain things, which we can get into later on, but that gives you that pool. And
Okay.
that's what your subnet mask tells you. So you have your set numbers that you can't change, and then you have your last number that will either get automatically assigned or you can change. That's how many devices can be on your network.
Address book for your devices almost.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
that's part of it.
cool, cool, cool. All right. I
So
think that's enough
hopefully I
information
explained
for this
that clear
morning.
enough. Yeah, we're not going to get into any more details right now. So any questions about subnet masks, about how I explain that, just let us know. We can always cover it a little bit more, clear it up next week. But that is phase one of subnetting and of what is a subnet mask.
Gotta subnet all those fish. All right. We have, wow, that went by quick. We're almost at the end of the show.
Yeah.
That brings us to our last corner. And that corner is Create a Corner.
Oh yeah.
So, Mitchell, you've been scouring YouTube this week. Who you got?
So this week I have some fellow Canadians, the Hardware Canucks.
Ah, okay.
So Hardware Canucks, kind of fellows in the space of tech tubers, and yeah, just kind of a one-stop shop for tech reviews. Whether see on the screen right now, you have say like your Ryzen chips. They're going to look at cases. They look at Mac stuff that comes out, and kind of like innovative gadgets and stuff sometimes too, I believe. So kind of whatever you're looking for, they will review
Yeah.
it. They have a good team
Let's
over there.
let's recut that because it didn't play. I don't know why it didn't play.
Okay.
Okay. Why is it why aren't you playing? What? It's not playing. Okay. Remove from stage. You know what? I'll just move from studio because it played the first time. Remove that from studio. All right, Mitchell. Who do you have for Create a Corner? So, Mitchell, who do you have for Create a Corner?
All right. So this week I have fellow Canadians, the Hardware Canucks. Always good for tech reviews,
Yeah.
for whether that's Mac, PC, peripherals, kind of. I think they'll do kind of like general gadgets and stuff too. So
I
anytime that, yeah,
I use them for my headset. This is the reason I bought these specifically. Was them.
there
I
you go.
looked up most durable, and he had a top 5. Awesome information, no fluff.
Yeah, yeah, very good. And also, like, I find they're not very forgiving of flaws in products either,
Mm,
which again is good because you have to look at different reviews and stuff to find okay, these are kind of the general things that they all share that are good, the general things they all share that are bad, and then you're going to find other ones, say like Hardware Canucks, I find sometimes will bring out certain flaws that are not like a mainstream flaw. They'll be like, by the way, like this is really irritating about this thing and nobody seems to talk about it, so just so you know, if that's something that's going to bug you, just be aware of it.
mm,
So I do appreciate they do the digging and they find those kinds of things. So yeah, and great entertainment value, great on camera, these guys.
yeah.
uh yeah, so if you've never checked out Hardware Canucks, definitely take a look. That is my creator recommendation this week.
Crazy production values too, but
Yeah.
they've been in the space for a while. I have someone that with is not as well known as that, and that is Gigatech. Now this guy loves to put crap on crap. Like he loves putting Windows 7 on extremely ancient hardware. He loves to, I think there's a Palm Pilot video in there. I think there's a Wii video there too. It's very entertaining, and I hope you go check him out because it's good content. And we like to shout everyone out here if you're big or small or somewhere in the middle. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome. Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely tech out, check out, and tech out the
Oh,
creators from this week.
I like that. That's our new catchphrase.
Oh, yeah.
Let's tech out. Well, speaking of teching out, that brings us to the end of the show. And we have learned a lot. And we've raged about some things,
Some
mostly Teslas.
machines. Yeah.
We learned
Mostly
words.
Teslas. I do work good. That- Yep.
All right. Well, I've been Josh,
I've been Mitch.
and yeah, go break something, but tinker around with it first. Learn how it works, then break it so you can fix it again.
Yeah. Don't break Windows, break tech because you're tinkering.
All right, ciao for now, boys.
Have a good one.